Hello everyone. I'll start with the introduction for Empowered Forex. So first of all, welcome everyone for today's grant writing session where we will be covering the upcoming grants. I'll share my screen. Before starting, let's get over some Zoom etiquette. Change your name, turn on your cameras so we can meet face to face and we want to see you. If you have any questions, then you can raise your hands or click on the reaction and raise your hands if you have any questions. Be respectful to everyone. Use kind words or actions. Use the chat box. Do not hesitate to ask a question. If you have some questions, if you have good, bad, any questions, we are welcoming. Mute your mic, avoid interruption, and only unmute yourself when speaking. Empower Forex would like to acknowledge the lens we are working on. We will just take a minute to read this slide. A little bit about Empowered Forex is in business consulting firm. We support all entrepreneurs by providing co-working space and business services, membership, as well as the training and consulting. We can help you with the business planning, operations, financial projections, bookkeeping, grant writing, marketing strategies, and we have various offerings depends on where you are in your journey from ideation to scaling up. We offer many different training programs that can help you level up your businesses. Social Enterprise Challenge, Social Enterprise Certification Program, Mental Health Standard Certification, Mental Health Supporting Youth Certification, and Grant Hunter University. We offer many different services for the startups to establish the business. So we have virtual offices in Brampton, Ottawa, and Scarborough. We do have a consulting services, marketing, grant writing, technology, management, and plannings, and we do a BizScrum live shows. We are having an upcoming events, grant writing info sessions, working groups, DIY to modify series like sales, marketing, growth, and strategies. We do monthly Jelly social networking events, and we do have an social enterprise and grow your nonprofit challenge, which actually passed, but we do have here, and we might be coming up. So whenever we will be, we will let you know. And we do have an tax planning and complex compliances info session coming up. So you can join with us on 7 December for that. You can use this barcode to register for the session. We do, and we have an upcoming, we do have an grant writing services where we basically provide a service for the social enterprise and nonprofit organization. We specialize in helping organizations to effectively research and apply for the grant, focusing on obtaining the grants and becoming an extension of CEO or an executive director team. About our grant writing, we do DIY free sessions, funding summaries, blueprints, reviews, paid sessions, working groups, and modify grant writer. We do it for you. Today's agenda is to meet the facilitator, overview of the grant, and how we can help you. Today's facilitator is Ryan Knight, a serial social entrepreneur, detailing Knight's Service Kingdom, Executive Power Up, Black Panther Cage, and co-founder of Afro-Caribbean Business Network. These are his businesses. And he's also an E4X business guru, currently helping the businesses and increasing the capacities and creating an asset for an growing generational wealth. I'll let know, like, Ryan, you can take over from here. Floor is all yours.
All right, sounds good. Let me just start from there. Oh, wait.
I'll just stop.
Sounds good, sounds good. And thank you for the introduction. Let me just present my screen. I know my computer seems to be going slow, so let me know if it gets like held up or anything. One thing that I'd like to mention that I am one of the co-founders of the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. So we work with entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage their business is in, and then help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. And over the past 5 years, we've been able to engage with over 5,000 Black entrepreneurs. We're finding about 70% of them, or over 70%, are female entrepreneurs. And in our database, about 91% of them are the business owner, the founder, or the CEO, the current CEO. But what we're most proud of is our partnerships and being able to partner with over 40 Black-focused business organizations across Canada. So no matter what stage your business is in, we're able to connect you to the right supports to make sure that your business is able to grow. I talk a lot about entrepreneurship. I feel it's one of the best tools that we can use to empower the community. And especially when we're talking about economic empowerment, entrepreneurship is a tool that you can really start with minimal investment and have unlimited potential. And even if you're running a nonprofit, having a social enterprise where you have that income generating or revenue generating activity to support the nonprofit work allows you to be a lot more sustainable. We talk about convening, and when we do our in-person sessions, like we have one tomorrow talking about funding in Whitby. Next week, we're going to be in person at the Brampton office, but really sharing notes, and even if it's virtual like this, being able to share the resources that we know, the information that we know, so that you can use it for your businesses so that it can grow. But why we're here today is that access to funding. We at ACBN have developed our own microloan program. So if you did need a loan for your business, we can do up to $15,000. And we're connected into other loan programs like the Black Opportunity Fund or the FACE Coalition, so we can connect you to that kind of funding as well. Today is more, and always want to say thank you to our partners, ranging from Alterna Savings, who we created the microloan program with, SETC, which is the social economy through social inclusion, really keeping us connected to social finance and a lot of the government funding programs that will be able to support our social enterprises. Sheridan and their EDGE program, the Entrepreneurship Discovery and Growth Engine, making sure that we're connecting our community to the great resources that are at the college, at Sheridan College, and it's done through EDGE. So if you're not sure what EDGE is, would love to connect you so that you can tap into the resources that they have. And they're going to be doing a lot more over the next couple of years. So want to make sure that we don't miss it. Calabash, which is a cooperative of expert service providers in our communities. So if you do need accountants, consultants, different supports to grow your business, definitely check out Calabash. And always don't want to forget the Toronto Community Benefits Network, who has been a supporter of ours since the beginning. Shout out to Rosemary Powell, but other supporters like ZSC that helps with our business advisory, One Full Circle, which is like our mirror organization in Montreal and Quebec, and Dream Legacy Foundation. If you do have a tech business, they have a great program with Ryerson and the DMZ to be able to support Black tech founders. So definitely check that out. All right, so we like to put up this slide to show the breadth of funding that is out there. And these are different programs that we've been able to access. And it ranges from as low as $500 all the way up to over $1 million. I think the top one is 1.3 million, and different places that we've gotten funding from, whether it be pitch competitions, it can be from the city, the province, federal grants, or sponsorship and donations from corporations. I like to say we want to tackle all types of funding that we qualify for. So when we talk about grant writing, and again, I don't consider myself an academic grant writer, but I do consider myself a grant hunter. So looking at all the different types of funding that's out there and anything that we qualify for, making sure to get that application in. And that's why, besides us getting funding, I love being able to help others get funding as well, whether it be nonprofits like Rescue Youth International or New Life Project, who a lot of times they're doing great work in their communities, yet they don't have the bandwidth to be sitting and researching what grants are out there, writing and following up and reapplying. So we're able to become their team to do the research, find out what grants are out there, and then do the writing and get that done for them. So, and then on the other side, like with for-profit companies like Custodia, identifying that they are operating a social enterprise and then being able to plug them into funding that exists. So all that to say, if you feel stuck trying to find funding, or if you feel stuck after you find funding and just not getting the applications in, we are definitely here to support you with that. Oh, and here are a couple other examples. Youth Village being able to, as they were starting their organization, working with us so that they can get access to funding so they're not starting from scratch. And also a church that we were able to trustee to help them get access to funding to renovate their location. So a couple of ways that we help entrepreneurs and organizations get prepared. Of course, if you're looking for loans, that's typically when you need the business plan blueprint. So if you need help with your business plan, you can connect with us and we'll help with that. But the grant writing blueprint is what I wanted to talk about today, because a lot of times we find multiple grants over the years, and every time we find a grant, we're starting from scratch. So what we found, and even when I was running Detailing Nights, the first couple of grants that I went after, and being a for-profit company, you realize that you keep getting declined until I was able to connect with a grant writer and also partner with a nonprofit organization that started to unlock more of the grants. And those successful grants became the blueprint. So what we help you do is create your own blueprint and asking those initial questions that 80% of grants are going to ask you, so that the answers are done, and then we can customize it for whatever grant that we find. So having that blueprint done really reduces the effort that it takes to apply for grants. So that way you can be applying for more and increase your chances of getting that funding that you need. If we keep starting from scratch, a lot of times we get stuck and then we don't get the application in, and then it's an automatic decline if we don't submit. So one thing I did want to share with you is this platform, the Business Benefits Finder. And I'll put the link. Oh, I think this link might still be broken. Let me see. If it doesn't take me to the right place, I will put the right one into the chats. Let's see. Oh, wait, was it working? I think it was working. Or is it not working? No, it wasn't working. So this link that I'm going to put into the chat for you, it supports with finding what types of government grants are out there. So let me grab this. Oh, and they changed their website. Let me see. This is not the right one. This is the right one. So it's kind of like fill in the blanks. So whatever your business or your nonprofit does, you would fill out the questions just by answering like the blank sections of the it's the magic tool. So let me grab this link. So if you did want to follow along, I'll put it into the chats. All right, and you'll see, so I'll go through it really quickly. So let's say we're looking for grants. Okay. Let's see, we're looking for up to 250,000. We want to start, grow, hire people. Good. And then tell them where we are. So from Ontario, Southern. Oh, something went in. We focus on education. Let's see, we have 4 employees. Doing revenue just under 500. We're incorporated. Let's see, I'll put it for the nonprofit and see what it comes up with. We have Canadians, Black Canadians, women, LGBTQ, and under 40. So you always want to see all the programs, even if they're not accepting, just so that you have an idea of what is out there that you can apply for later. But you'll see. All right, so it'll take the information and then give you a breakdown of different funding that is available. So if you click on more, we'll see, let's see. So I know there's always a few training grants, electricity, if you're in the automotive sector, if you're for-profit, nonprofit organizations in New York, let's see. Grants for economic development. I know this one, I think, is for organizations that do economic development training. Let's see if there's any specific ones available right now for businesses. I don't see any. If you're doing international business, it's a grant. If you want to do tree planting. So again, you can check here for loans, tax credits, different wage subsidies, but there's also another platform that we've started to use, and that is called Happly. I'll put it into the chat as well. So the first grant, the first platform is focused on the federal government in Canada. Happly, I believe, is North America. But actually, let me sign in and see if it's only Canada. And for Happly, the user experience is a lot. Actually, the government one, I would give them credit. It's not terrible. The Happly one, they are trying to refine it. So as you're searching for grants and different supports, it's a bit easier to go through. But let me see. If I remember my password here. So when you create your account with Happly, it'll now show you the different types of funding. And again, it looks like a big number, but you do have to kind of dig in to make sure that the funding that you're looking for is a match for what you want to do. So let's see what we can find right now. So Talent Opportunities Program, what I like, it does give a rating of how difficult the application process is. So for this one, you're gonna have to spend some time. Let's see. This one, I believe, is through the Canada Digital Adoption Program. So the Ontario Chamber of Commerce has it. So if you're looking for help with digital marketing, you can go to this one. And let's see. The Canada Ontario Job Grant is really good if you're hiring, because you can now hire somebody or onboard them, put them through training so that they're actually able to execute for your business, and you can get a grant for that training that they went through. And then if they go through the training and you realize that they're not a fit, then you don't have to hire them because they're not a good fit. But them going through the training usually makes them more prepared to be in your business. So if you're looking for that next best hire, hiring them through the Canada Ontario Job Grant is a good option. Let's see, summer company. Again, letting our youth know that while they're in school up to age 29, they can be getting $3,000 for their business so that they can test if entrepreneurship is a good fit for them. So there's always, I mean, there's 10 pages. So happily, I'll say this is your homework for tonight. Make your account, see if any of these grant programs are a good fit. And then if you do find one that is a good fit and you get stuck, that's where let us know so that we can work with you to go through it and get your application in. Because a lot of times, I bet you, yeah, these ones should probably be more than moderate. The federal ones are really intense, but those ones are more for organizations. And this one specific to Bruce County. So when you're filling out your your profile, if you do stipulate that you're in Canada, you're going to see Canadian results. Check to see if you are in the US and you put in your US address, if it gives you US results. So these are two platforms that I typically always walk my clients through to say, okay, let's find at least 3 to 5 grants that we can go after in here, and then helping them get those applications done so that you're not stuck with. And if it's a quick one, like some of them, like with Ripen, I'll pull up Ripen, because this one, again, if you're looking for a grant to help bring on a team member, Ripen is really good. Yes, Level Up. So I'll put this link into the chat as well. The tricky thing with Ripen is that you create a project for your company or for your organization on what you want to see executed. So that could be like a marketing strategy, or people to do a market research, or a data analytics. But then when you post your project, students get to see it and then select if they want to work on your project. So if they do pick your project, then you're able to get them for, I believe, oh my gosh, 60 hours. Let me see if it shows. So for employers, actually, I think it's 80 hours. Yes, 80 hours. So they work on your project for 80 hours, and then the Ripen program pays them. So you don't have to come out of pocket to pay them for the work. So definitely check out this one if you're looking for additional support or additional staff. And let me get to the next section. Oh. All right, so we'll jump into the Black Opportunity Fund. They have a loan grant program in partnership with CIBC. So CIBC, let me see if I still have this open. No, I don't. So CIBC created a loan program where you can get up to $250,000 for your business. And if you're not quite ready with, like, you don't have your business plan, or you don't have your cash flow projections done, or you need to increase your credit score, they were able to partner with the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce. So you can go through programming to improve those things, so you can improve your business plan and get your cash flow projections done. Then as you're finishing those milestones, you can get grants for your business. So you can get up to $2,000 depending on which program you go through. And then when that's done, you would have a strong enough business plan, cash flow projections to be able to apply for the loan program. But if you didn't want to apply for the loan program, you can still go through the Chamber of Commerce and go through the programming to get the grant. And this link is broken, but I'll put it in the site just for now. Yeah, so if you just want to apply directly, let me see, Black Chamber. So you should be able to sign up for their Elevate Black Business. So this accelerator program or the business plan writing program. So if you go through these, you're able to access the grants that the Black Opportunity Fund and CIBC had created. And I believe CIBC had put forward about $2 million into this grant program, and it's not all spent. So definitely take some time to check out these programs, reach out to the chamber, get into it so that you can access those grants for your business as you're working on your business plan or your cash flow projections at the same time. Now, if you didn't want to have to do it yourself, okay, you can tap into this grant. So this one is called BAIDS. So it's done through the BBPA, the Black Business and Professionals Association. So BAIDS, which stands for the Business Advisory and Implementation Development Services, allows you to get connected with an expert service provider so that they would do services for you, and then you don't have to come out of pocket. So the service provider invoices the BBPA to get paid. So if you need to get your business plan done, you can actually go through this grant program to get it done. If you needed help with registering or doing your financials or doing your taxes, you'd be able to get that support as well. And so I'll put this link into the chat just in case I usually give this for homework as well. So if you have not signed up for BAIDS already, I would definitely take time, get into the queue, because this is one of the best grant programs that I've seen. So it's definitely oversubscribed. I think they even show that at the bottom, it's like over 800 applications received, and they've gotten through about 330. So it's going to take them a bit of time. I know they had at least 5 million to give out, so they're at about 2 million. So it would be good to get in the queue. And what I say is just follow up with them. So after a week or so, if you haven't heard anything, send them a note saying, hey, I'm checking in on my status with the my BAIDS application. And as you touch base, they're able to make sure and get back to you. So this is your second homework. I would say at the end of today, you should, because the application is quite straightforward. I'll just show you really quickly. It's asking for, I'll say, your contact info, a bit of the story of your business, and then also, what else is it asking for? Yeah, that's for, let's see, how you're registered, how long you've been around, employees, principal activities, and the story of your business. And I would say if you don't have the principal activities of your business written down somewhere, after you answer this question, save it into a Google Doc or a Word document or Google Keep or Evernote, so that anytime you're going to go after grants or loans, these are typically the initial questions that they're going to be asked. So you want to have it saved so you're not starting from scratch trying to remember. And again, it's all in your head, like you know it, what your business does, but when you have to write it, then starting from scratch can be a block. So you want to have it saved somewhere. And again, the story of your business, you want to have that saved somewhere as well, so that you can always be adding to it and you have it ready for when these applications ask you for it. And you'll see these are the 3 services that you can choose from. So you can get accounting and bookkeeping done, you can get your business planning and budgeting done, or you can get legal support for your business. And because the application is quite straightforward, like I said, this is your homework for later today. to get it done. So I put the link into the chat, the BADES program from the BBPA. All right, so I did want to touch on Digital Main Streets. If you have not already created an account for Digital Main Street, they have a few grant programs. So they have the RAISE program, which is the racialized and indigenous support for entrepreneurs. You can get up to $10,000 for your business to help with digital marketing and amplifying kind of the outreach and the operations of your business. The Canada Digital Adoption Program allows you to get $2,400, again, specific for digital marketing support. And their Ontario grants, which is closed right now, but you used to be able to get $2,500 to support, again, that online marketing. So you'd create a digital transformation plan for your business, which would include how you're going to market yourself online. They would have certain videos that you would watch that give you ideas on how to amplify your online marketing. And then you create a plan for yourself and you get $2,500. And the last one is the Shop Here program, where you can get help to build an e-commerce store. So they partner you with an expert service provider that now understands what you want to get done to sell online. So if you already have a website, but you're not selling online, they'll help you build something like a Shopify store. So you can either integrate it into your current website, or if you don't have a website, you can use Shopify as your website and they'll help you build it. You get a discount, I believe for the first 90 days, it's free, and then a discounted rate ongoing. So if you do want to, even if you have an online e-commerce store already and just want it to be improved, you can actually go through this grant and get it improved. So I'll put this link into the chat as well. And your homework would be at minimum to create your account. And I'll create your account because you do want to follow up with them. The RAISE program, which is the $10,000 grant, it's not open just yet, but it will be opening soon. So when you create an account, then you'll be on their mailing list. So you'll hear when that it's not new, it's actually being rebooted. And it's one of the better grants that I've seen that they had, where you can get 10,000 and be able to use it to build up your business. So make sure you have an account so that you're on their newsletter. And of course, once we hear, we're going to send out a notice as well. But the RAISE $10,000 grant is going to be opening back pretty shortly. All right. So another grant that had closed but is now opened back. I think I already have it open. So the Desjardins Good Spark program. So the Good Spark one, they do ask some eligibility questions, but they're giving out a total of $3 million, but it is across Canada. So because it's across Canada, it's going to be quite competitive. So you definitely want to make sure you get your application in. That's a minimum. And we're going to be doing working groups to support those that want help with writing their grant. So with our working groups, there's a small charge, usually it's like $20, $25. We come back as a group to work on one grant. So we're going to be doing one for the Desjardins Good Spark grant. It's due by December 3rd. So expect to get the information on this within a couple weeks so that we can come back together, go through every single question. Typically, you're like looking over my shoulder as I'm answering the questions for my business. And then when you have questions for your business, we can answer them right away. So look out for the invitation to the working group. But this one, hold on, these are eligibility questions. I wanted to see if they'll give the overview of the actual program. Let me see. Oh, actually, let me go back. Because I think each year they change just a little bit about it. And we are in Ontario. Oh, I think this page is talking about the fund in general. So they have a $250 million fund that they're going to be investing in projects and communities. Where is, oh, this seems different. I mean, if you're a nonprofit, you should definitely touch base with Desjardins about their Good Spark Fund. Because this looks like you can apply for projects. Okay. And then let's see, the business will take us there. No. Let's go back out. Because the specific Good Spark grant for business is, I believe it's 20,000 that you can get. Those are posts about it. Okay, let's go back in. Yeah, it's taking us, oh, wait a minute, here we go. All right, so I'll put this link into the chat so that you can check it out. So the first link that I put up from Desjardins is their actual Good Spark fund. So that fund, what do they do? So they're investing in projects and they have about 250 million to invest. The Good Spark grant for business is a section of that where you can get, so they're going to be giving out 150 grants of $20,000 each. And you'll see, do have to be Canadian owned, headquartered in one of these provinces. You do need one employee and registered for at least a year. And your project has to tackle one of these areas. So sustainable development, I guess that's talking about social enterprises, health and well-being, innovation, and community impact. And you can check out the full rules there. They give a bit of a breakdown for each of those 4 projects there, and you'll be able to apply. So if this is a grant that interests you, stay tuned for the working group that we're going to do, because we'll go question by question through each of the questions to make sure that you get this application in. We have until December 3rd, so that is a good amount of time, but we don't want to leave things to the last minute. All right. So one other grant that comes up for businesses is the Toronto Enterprise Center Starter Company Grant. And this one, so it's actually Starter Company Plus grant. So you can get up to $5,000 for your business. This stream is going to be for female founders. So I know they're doing, they did a webinar on the 3rd. Hopefully they have a recording of it, but you can subscribe to their newsletter. So I'll put this link into the chat for you. If you wanted to go to this page, subscribe to their newsletter. But if you're a female founder, you're in Toronto, I would definitely sign up for this grant. And the general business stream. So in November, they're doing the female stream, and the application should open shortly. And then, so twice a year, they do onboarding. And the other time, so in the new year, they're going to do the general business stream. But similar, you can get the $5,000. You would go through a training curriculum that they have. Before, it used to be in person. They might be shifting back to in person. They did shift to online for a while. And you get 6 months of advisory services after the program. So you go through the program, you apply for the 5,000. When you get the 5,000, then you get additional 6 months of business coaching. So be sure to check out this one as well. All right. So we did want to shift from for-profit business opportunities to also nonprofit grant opportunities. Let me go to the next section. Oh, we present. That'll help. Okay. And I did this Propel Black Business one is part of the Elevate Black Business. So if you go to the Black Chamber of Commerce link that I put into the chat, the Propel one is there. All right. So one thing that we talk about a lot here with Empowered Forex is social enterprise. And funding for social enterprise used to have a few more grant components. So the investment readiness program was available. That was a grant program up to $100,000. They're working on part 3. They've done 2 cycles of it. So I'm hearing rumblings that part 3 is in the works. So we'll keep you in the loop as that grant comes out as well. And also there was the Toronto Enterprise Fund, who works with social enterprise that have an employment focus. So they call them employment social enterprises. That is on pause. It's part of the United Way. So you're gonna see if United Way reboots that one. The next phase is the Social Finance Fund, which is actual investments into social enterprises. So they won't be grants per se. There'll be more loan products or equity products, but there will be additional investments for social enterprises. So we'll keep you on the loop as that comes out. And for nonprofits, we typically say to keep an eye on the Ontario government at any time has about 20 to 30 grant programs. So if I go to this link, you'll see there's a wide array of things that the government gives grants for. So if you see, oh, let me go back to the top. So if you see a focus area from the province that your company or your nonprofit can execute, you do want to make sure and create an account. They have something called Transfer Payment Ontario. It is a bit tedious and clunky to work with. So if you get stuck anywhere, please let us know. But if you see any of these areas of focus that you could tackle, read through it, see if it's something you qualify for. A lot of times, if you're a for-profit, it takes you partnering with a nonprofit. And if you're a nonprofit, then you'd be open to applying for any of these grants. The other one that I would keep an eye on is the Ontario Trillium Foundation. So their grant programs cycle throughout the year. They just closed off their Youth Opportunities Fund cycle. So that's going to open back in April, but they also have other grants. All right, so let me see if this application deadline, because they have community investment grants, the Youth Opportunities Fund. So let's see if there's anything upcoming. All right, so their capital grant is going to be coming due March the 6th. They have their seed grant. That's going to be next year, June. The Grow grant in November. So the calendar for 2024 looks like this. So again, these grants are typically quite complex. So you do want to actually get started on them now, or at least by January, to start putting the pieces together, having conversations with the funder about your program. So if you're going for the capital grant, having a conversation with them to see if you're on the right track, if it qualifies for what they want to fund. So same with seed and grow. Throughout the year, you want to be working on it. So resilient communities, that did close. It doesn't look like they have 2024 dates just yet. And for the Youth Opportunities Fund, they are going to open their Systems Innovation Grant on December the 4th. So keep an eye out for that. And that's if you really want to do systems change. They do look for collaborations in those grants. So if you're not partnered with any other organizations, I would start looking at what other organizations share a similar mission to what you want to execute, and then look for that so that you can apply for the Youth Opportunities Fund. And then this, 1 sec. All right, so let's see where we're at. Again, I do always like to touch on the different loan programs that are out there. I know grants are great because you don't have to pay them back, but the timelines for grants are typically very difficult to work with. A lot of times it takes 3 to 6 months to find out if you even got a grant, if you're approved. So you're waiting all that time, and sometimes it's still not guaranteed. So loan programs are typically easier to navigate. You usually get funding less than a month, and you can also use grants later to stack on. So still apply for grants, but if you need to get things done for your business right away, loan programs are great to go after, and make sure you have a strong plan to use that money to boost your sales so that the increase in sales covers the loan cost. And then as those grant decisions come in, anything that comes in would be bonus. So that ranges from ACBN, we have our microloan program. There's the Access Community Capital Fund that does up to 10,000. Rise Asset Development does up to 10,000. The FACE Coalition, which does up to 250,000. Futurepreneur for those under 40 goes up to 60,000. So Alterna, RBC, CIBC, Bank of Montreal, Scotia Bank, I have to add in there, and TD, they now have Black entrepreneurship loan programs. So if you're looking at going after a loan program, I typically say reach out to all of them. It's depending on how much money you need, and then figure out which one is going to get you to the finish line first. So don't make all of them do credit checks and the full 9, but reach out to their representative, have that initial conversation. Most of these programs, they're looking at your credit score being at least 600. I think ACBN and Access Community Capital Fund are the only two, and Rise Asset Development, that if your credit score is under 600, you're not like automatically declined. And I know Meridian Credit Union is also working on, they call it a business accelerator loan. So we'll get more information about that and be able to see if you qualify. But again, it does go by credit score. So if you do have minimum 600, I would reach out to each of these and see what's the process to get access to their funding. All right. And of course, as we're winding down, always want to just remind you that we exist to see you win. So please reach out to us if you feel stuck anywhere, if any of these grant programs are of interest and you're not sure how to navigate. That's why we're here. We have different services that we offer. There's the self-study, our online course, the Grant Hunter University. We have funding strategy sessions that we can do with you, or just do a deep dive into what funds are out there that are specific to your business. And if you just want to take it all off your plate and have us become that grant team for you, we do have that grant application writing. So we would do the research to see what is available, and then we would do the writing for you and help you get it submitted. All right. So if you did want to have a conversation, you can feel free to scan the QR code, or Shristi, if you can put the link into the chat. Actually, let me see if I can grab it.
Yeah, I can put the link. It's not a problem.
All right, let me see if this works. Okay. I think this link will take it there, but or you could put the cleaner one. So feel free to fill out the grant writing intake form for support, and then we'll reach out to you so that we can support you on your journey. And also feel free to email us or give us a call. Again, if you have questions, I'm here now. We're going to be here for a bit, so feel free to ask now. But as questions come up or you want to have a more one-to-one conversation, our contact info is there in the chat. All right, so let me pause there and then we'll see if there's any questions for us today. And thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. I know y'all have stuff to do and are busy, so it's not lost on us you taking the time to hear about the resources and funding that's out there. But if you did have a question, you can feel free to put it in the chat or you can unmute. Otherwise, we can give a bit of your afternoon back. Arminde, yes, you can go ahead.
Hi. So I want to ask about the grant writing service. Is your service fee, your mode of working published anywhere? Where can I find that? And also, do you do industry specific? So in my case, I am in the food processing / ag space. And I have also noticed that advocacy is essential when it comes to some of these grant programs. So would you have that, or do you offer that as well, particularly for my industry?
Yeah, we find that especially in that industry, the grants are going to be very government specific, like federal grants, sometimes provincial grants.
Yeah.
So we do have expertise on staff that deals more with federal grants. So we'd be able to connect you with them to navigate that space. The other question was, yeah, the pricing is depending on how complex the grant is. So it can be as low as 500, even up to 5,000, depending if it's like a complex federal grant or a more straightforward one.
Okay, thank you. I'll reach out for that. But I think there's an Ontario one I'm exploring.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'd love to support you with that. All right, awesome. Just checking to see, is there any additional questions? Otherwise, yes, we really appreciate being here and have a good rest of the afternoon.